Hello y'all, and welcome to the Young Folk Knits podcast. Let's chat about some knitting. Welcome back, or if you're a new viewer, then welcome to the Young Folk Knits podcast. This is a channel where I mainly chat about my knitting projects, but also some sewing, crochet, beadwork, you never know. I live on a small farm here in Arkansas with my husband and our children, where we are beekeepers. We love raising animals and spending lots of time outside here in the foothills of the Ozarks. Today I wanted to chat a little bit about some of the things I've been knitting on this past week. I also want to announce the giveaway for the winner of the sunglasses and to let you know about the special giveaway for this episode. So make sure and stay tuned for all of that coming up today. First of all, I do want to apologize. Our whole family has COVID, and at first I got a little bit cocky. I thought, oh wow, this is super mild. I'm not gonna have very many symptoms, but I did progressively get worse. I did get medicine though, which has helped tremendously. Now I am just trying to keep getting better. So I do apologize that my voice is very scratchy and congested sounding. And I'll try to make sure and edit out all of the coughing. So this past week I have not been working on a whole lot of different projects, but I've really been focusing on my test knits. So first of all, I am trying to finish up my Cargill Junior sweater, which is for Rebecca from the Crayabea podcast. And I just have to say, this has been an absolutely lovely pattern to knit. I'm really glad that I went ahead and knit the junior size sweater first, because knitting it has affected the yarn choice that I think I'm going to make for my size of the Cargill sweater whenever I get to make it. So here's the sweet little sweater. Unfortunately, I have been pretty sick, so I haven't got to make a lot of projects, but it is a very quick knit. And I'm focused mainly on this to finish it this week. I absolutely love it. It has this great stretch and ribbing feel to it. I think the stitch pattern is absolutely beautiful. And I have chosen to knit mine out of the Isager yarn Alpaca 1 and Alpaca 2. So that's a lace weight alpaca, 100% alpaca, but it's not the big fuzzy Surrey feeling yarn. It's a very low profile lace weight alpaca. And then this Alpaca 2, which is 50% wool and 50% alpaca. They're both very soft. I don't know why the rooster always likes to sit under my window and crow during every podcast. Anyway, I really love this yarn. I do think that if I were to knit this again, I had never used this yarn before, and I do think that if I were to knit this again, I would probably just hold the Isager Alpaca 2, which is the fingering weight. I would probably just hold it double, but this fabric is turning out lovely. I do think it might be a little bit thinner of a fabric, which is probably perfect for Arkansas, but for colder climates where you really want a lot of warmth, then it might be a little bit more of an airy fabric for some. That being said, you can see a halo on this yarn. And I think that with wear, the halo will become more pronounced. And it's just very soft. The color is very sweet, and I really love this. I've tried this on my child and it fits perfectly. So now I just need to decide for sure on the sleeve length, and I'm kind of thinking bracelet length sleeves for her. I think that that will be a really good choice. So I have two other test knits that I'm working on, and all three of these test knits call for two yarns held together, a fingering and a lace weight Surrey or mohair. So that usually equals a DK weight yarn. Sometimes it could equal a sport depending on the yarn, but mainly we would say that's equal to a DK weight yarn. I remember thinking to myself multiple times, and I have seen people ask the question, does it affect your fabric if, for instance, you hold a fingering weight and a lace weight compared to a DK weight? So you can get the exact same gauge is your fabric going to be affected? Does it matter? And I've always heard the answer as no, it doesn't matter. And I want to talk about that a little bit. Because while one, no, it does not matter as far as gauge is concerned. If you have a 100% merino yarn and you could either get that yarn in a DK weight or you could hold 2 fingering strands together and you got the same gauge either way, then no, I don't think that that matters. I don't think it's going to create a difference in your fabric. But what if you have a fingering weight yarn in a merino and then you're holding it with a lace weight mohair yarn and you're comparing that to a DK merino only yarn? My thought is that yes, there is going to be a difference in fabric. Is your gauge affected? No. Can you use either yarn to create the same pattern? Yes, you can, and either one is fine. However, what is going to be affected in your fabric is going to be the drape, mainly in my opinion, the airiness of the fabric. So the 100% merino DK strand that you would hold is going to create a denser fabric. Meanwhile, the fabric that you could create with one strand of fingering held together with a strand of mohair, that mohair yarn is going to be much less dense. The content is different. The thickness is a little bit different. So I definitely find a difference in fabric. And that is when, even though I hate to swatch, I think swatching can be so valuable because you can see the 2 different fabrics and which do you prefer. Are you going to want more drape? Are you going to want it to be lighter? Do you want it to have a lot of structure? Do you want it to be super flowy? All those things are going to be different in the 2 different fabrics. So in my opinion, while yes, you can knit a sweater, yes, you can get the same gauge with the different yarns, either 2 held together or a single strand, I do definitely think that it can create a different fabric. And I think that by holding 2 yarns together, you can definitely get something different that you're not going to achieve with one strand of DK. So I am holding 2 yarns together in 2 of my 3 chest knits. Another one that I am starting is for Sophie from the Knit Pearl Girl, and it is the Farnham sweater. So it is this absolutely beautiful striped sweater. It just gave me these super fun French vibes almost. I don't really have any striped pullover sweaters that I can think of at the moment. Maybe I do, but I don't think I do. So sorry if you hear some crinkling, I'm gonna pull some yarn out of a paper bag. So this sweater also calls for a strand of fingering and a strand of lace weight yarn. I am using some Knitting for Olive merino in the color Marzipan. And I am holding that with Camarose, what color is this? LYS Beige 9506. So this Surrey. So I'm going to hold these 2 together for my main color. And then for my stripe, I am again holding Knitting for Olive merino with this Camarose. And this is definitely going to give me that halo. I think it's going to give me some drape. I'm very excited to get started on this. Something I really love about this sweater is the neckline. I am super into rolled necklines at the moment. I don't know why, maybe because I don't have any, but I am making this one, and I've also got a couple that I want to share with y'all on next week's video, which is going to be all about recommendations for the bougie sweatshirt knit along, which starts at the end of this month. So I'm super excited about that. I know it's kind of a love it or hate it thing on the rolled neckline, but it has grown on me and I really like it right now. I think the reason I like it is because I can get hot easy, and if I'm gonna be itchy, it's usually right here on my chest and neck. So I can still get that almost like turtleneck look, but it's not super tight against my neck. It's kind of rolled out a little bit with some space. Another pattern I just bought is the Ilia sweater by Caitlin Hunter from Boylan Knitworks. I'm super excited to make that. And it has that same cowl neck rolled him sort of look. Okay, also I just have to show y'all this. My little girl just finished knitting this hot pink cow, and I think it is absolutely adorable. She is so cute in it, and she did such a good job. It is so pink. It is very pink, but it is adorable. It's just something so fun about teaching your kids how to knit and then having them knit with you. It's the best. I absolutely love it. And every little twisted stitch and slip stitch, it's just adorable. I'm keeping this forever. All right, the last project that I want to share with y'all today is in my Muud Saturn XL bag. Y'all have heard me talk about this. I absolutely love this bag. It is possibly the perfect project bag. I am obsessed with this bag. The zippers are like butter. I mean, they zip and unzip with no problem, and that's a big deal. I love the structure of the bag, and I love how much it holds. I have a sweater in here plus 2 unwound hanks of yarn, and I have so much room. I could fit everything that I would need for an entire sweater in here. So I'm very excited to say that this week's giveaway is for a Saturn XL bag by Muud Living. They have very kindly donated a bag to give to one of you lovely viewers. And the best part is you can pick your color. So I have the whiskey color, but they also have a absolutely luscious black color, which is stunning. The black leather is so beautiful. And so you get to pick which one you would like. I can say with full confidence that I think you will love this bag. So to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and comment on this video. If you want another entry into the giveaway, then you can head over to my Instagram, which is youngfolk.knits, and you can enter the giveaway on a post there as well, and it will have information on how to do that. I'll take the entries both for my YouTube channel and for my Instagram page, and I will select the winner by using both of those locations. But let me go ahead and show you what's inside the bag. I have this absolutely delicious Sonder DK in the color Dirty Weekend. This color is so hard to explain, but it might look like a golden brown, which it is, but it has this fabulous olive green gold undertone to the golden brown. I keep wanting to call it Dirty Martini instead of Dirty Weekend because it has that sort of olivey undertone, but this is one of my absolute favorite colors. So this yarn has a gauge of 22 stitches for 4 inches on needles 3.75 to 4.5. It has 268 yards for 100 grams, and it is a 75% BFL, 25% mash and mix. And it is lovely. It is so lovely. Held up against your neck, I can see how it might have a little bit of an itch, but it's also soft at the same time. It has a lovely halo to it. It blooms beautifully when you block it. So what am I making with? So I have started the Harlow sweater, which is a pattern by Kadri on Instagram. And it is a drop shoulder pullover. So I am super excited to get this done. If you watch one of my recent me-made wardrobe videos, then you know that I really needed some drop shoulder sweaters. This sort of has a single layered turtleneck neck on it, collar, neck, but I really, really love it, and I am super excited about this. It's so light. If you haven't knit with this before, but if you have knit with Woolen Twines DK weight yarn, it reminds me very, very, very much of that base. I used that yarn to make my Humlebee shawl by Lerka from Fiber Tales, and this gives me very similar vibes to that base. It may be the same base. I need to look back and see. But anyway, it is similar, and it is so light and squishy, and I am loving this yarn. I cannot wait to get this sweater done. I think that I will wear this a lot. I am super excited. So I think this is coming out at the end of December, beginning of January. So this would be a great sweater for the bougie sweatshirt knit along as well. So here's an example of a sweater that also called for fingering weight and lace weight yarn, but instead I chose to go with a single strand of DK, and I absolutely love it. I'm still getting the halo. It's very light. I don't know how much drape it's actually gonna have, but it is perfect for what I wanted, and I'm very happy with the fabric that it's creating. So I think in the end, it's all about the fabric that you want for the project that you're doing. And that will really impact whether or not you want to hold your yarn single or hold multiple strands together. So I'd love to hear, what are your thoughts on the topic of holding yarn together or using a single strand to create the same gauge? Do you think that it makes a difference? Do you think that it matters? Do you think it creates a different fabric? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So now it is time to announce the winner for the giveaway from my French beauty secret video, which is for a super fun pair of sunglasses like the ones that I wore in that video. If you really like them, I did include a link for those sunglasses in the description on that video as well. And the winner that was chosen is Tie Dye Diva. I will put the comment here on the screen that she was chosen with. So if you will contact me, then I will get your glasses sent to you. And also just please remember that I will always announce the winner here in a video on my YouTube channel. Somehow there has been a fake account created with my profile picture, and I noticed on the last video that they were commenting and asking people to get in touch with them by clicking this link, and it's so very frustrating because I don't want anyone to get hacked. So please just remember, I will never ask you for money or information or anything like that. I only have one account, which is my YouTube account, and I only have one account on Instagram. So please be very wary of imposters. One thing, while I have been sick, I have been doing a bit of baking because somehow baking just makes me feel better. I have actually lost my sense of smell and my sense of taste. And I don't know about you, but sometimes if I go through the whole thing of actually baking something, by the time I'm done, I'll eat like a bite of it. I end up not even that interested in eating it by the time I'm done. That's weird, isn't it? Anyway, I have found a recipe for some absolutely delicious gluten-free cinnamon rolls, and what's fabulous is that you don't have to proof them. They only have to rise for about 20 minutes, and they are so good. I'm gonna link the recipe down below in case any of y'all are gluten-free as well, and as long as you can have dairy and eggs. I do think you can use an egg substitute, and you may be able to use a dairy substitute, but I can't vouch for the outcome in that case. Anyway, I hope y'all have a fabulous week. Don't forget to enter this week's giveaway for the Muud Living Bag. And until I see y'all again, happy knitting.